Welcome to Wisdom Time. We're going to tackle one of life's biggest questions. I mean, a really big one. Are our lives our own, or is the whole story already written for us? So this question has been on people's minds for, well, forever, right? It gets right to the heart of how we see our lives. I mean, if our destiny is already set in stone, what's the point of anything? All our struggles, all our choices, what are they for? Let's break this down.
Okay, let's jump right into what feels like a major paradox. If everything is already predetermined in our book of destiny, what's known as Qadar, then why in the world does the test of life, our imtihan, even matter? Seriously, why bother making any choices? It feels like it can't be both, right? A total contradiction.
And this is the real struggle, isn't it? How can our will, our irade, be genuinely free if the outcome is already known? It kind of feels like we're just actors on a stage, reading lines from a script we didn't even know existed. But what if our whole idea of the script is just wrong?
So, to get past this, we have to completely reframe what destiny even is. The idea here is to stop seeing it as a script and start seeing it more like a law.
Now, this is a huge shift in thinking, so stay with me. We usually picture destiny as this super detailed storybook, right? Every single thing that will ever happen is already written down. But what if it's not like that at all? What if it's more like a universal constitution? A set of fundamental laws that just govern how reality works.
To make this super clear, let's walk through an analogy. It's a really powerful one. Just imagine a guy, and he makes a choice to commit a crime. Let's say theft.
Okay, so he committed the crime. Now the law comes into play. The legal code is pretty straightforward. It says there's a specific consequence for that specific action. He goes to jail. It's simple cause and effect.
But here's where it gets really interesting. This guy, he's standing in front of the judge, and he tries to make a defense. He basically argues, hey, it was written in the Constitution for me to be jailed, so I had no choice. He's saying it was his destiny, and he couldn't have done anything different.
But that logic is totally flawed, right? I mean, the Constitution doesn't have his name in it. It just has a universal rule. If you steal, then you get jailed. It was his choice, his own free will to steal, that activated the law. The law itself didn't force his hand. He walked right into it.
So you see, destiny is more like a system of rules, not a detailed story that's already been written. It's the framework, not the actual narrative. Let's take this idea even further and look at it through a more modern lens. Think of it as the code of reality.
Okay, so imagine life is like a video game. Let's say Super Mario, classic. In this game, destiny, or Qadar, is the game's fundamental source code. It's all the programming that sets the rules for how the world works. How high Mario can jump, what happens when he hits a question block, how a Goomba moves back and forth.
This code, it was written by some brilliant programmer, and it's fixed. It's timeless. While you're playing, the basic rules of the game, the physics, the logic, they don't change. That's the constant, reliable foundation you're playing on. But here's the million-dollar question. Does that fixed source code decide whether you're going to win or lose? Does it determine if you beat the level, take down Bowser, and save the princess? No way. Of course not. The code just sets up the challenge. Whether you win or lose is completely up to your skill, your decisions, and how you use that joystick. And that joystick, well, that's your free will. You're using it to operate within the rules of the code. And this, I think, just brilliantly shows how a fixed system, destiny, and our active, powerful free will can exist together perfectly. They're not fighting each other. They're designed to work together. By the way, if you're finding this helpful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like our video, and turn on that notification bell. So, if life is the game and destiny is the code, then what are our controls? What's our joystick exactly? Well, it turns out we have two really powerful actions that make up that joystick of will. Check out this incredible quote. It completely shifts your perspective. It takes us from being these passive characters who just have destiny happen to them to being active players in our own story. It's telling us we have a way to actually influence the outcome. Think about it like this. Your will has two hands on the controller. With one hand, you've got prayer, or dua. You use it to actively ask for good things, to request a better path. And with your other hand, you've got istighfar, which is seeking forgiveness. You use that to actively ask for bad stuff, negative outcomes to be removed from your path. These are your controls. These are your tools. Okay, let's pull all these ideas together now. The law, the code, the joystick, and wrap it all up with one final really powerful image that just summarizes everything so well.
We've gone from thinking of Destiny as some static, dusty old book to seeing it as this dynamic system. And this final idea, man, it just completes the picture perfectly.
And here it is. This might be the most important point of all. Destiny is not a finished story that's just being read to us. It is not a completed book sitting on a shelf somewhere.
Instead, Destiny is the pen. It's the very tool that writes the story. And yes, it moves according to those universal laws, that code we talked about, but it's guided by our choices, our prayers, our actions. We are actively influencing how our story gets written, moment by moment.
So, to recap the whole thing, Destiny isn't some detailed script, it's a system of rules. Our free will? That's us, the player in the game, making choices inside that system. And prayer and repentance, those are our controls, the tools we use to help steer our path. And maybe the biggest takeaway of all is this: we get to be co-authors of our own story. We're not just reading it. And that leaves us with one last really empowering thought to chew on. This whole paradox we started with, maybe it's not a paradox at all. Maybe it's an invitation. If your will is what guides the pen of Destiny, then the only question left is, what will you choose to write?